You're listening to Good Morning Albany, a motivational podcast to get your wheels turning. You're here with Shalene Love, a very sought-after wedding and portrait photographer. I'll be sitting down with creatives to discuss their process, their experience, and how to make a difference. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. And you?
I'm all right, man. We have a special guest today. We have Faith Duru,
Yeah.
FD Fashion. Traveled here all the way from New York City. It's a pleasure to have you, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So, what is FD Fashion?
Well, FD Fashion is actually it's an emerging fashion house. I'm a fashion designer. So what I do is couture fashion. It means high fashion. These are outfits that you could wear for red carpet events, wedding gowns, and all the glamorous outfits. So basically FD concentrates on creating pieces, special pieces, custom made designs for beautiful ladies, people who want to wear something very unique and special.
How long have you been doing fashion?
Anyway, I didn't start up as a fashion designer, but let's say from the last 5 years, I've been doing fashion. But probably 2 years I've been a fashion designer.
Okay, what inspires you in the fashion world?
The fashion world is such a creative space where you see a lot of things that could inspire you. But personally, when I try to create my own designs, I get inspiration from different things. And obviously, sometimes it could be from a memory lane, it could be from a place, it could be from architecture. I would give an example. Last 2 years, when I came to New York School of Design to take a course, immediately I got into New York, I loved everything about the architecture. It was so captivating. And I thought my first collection that I made for Accra Fashion Week, I thought I'd do something relating to architecture. So if you see some of the pictures, you find out that some of the garments were made in a certain way, like it showed construction and stuff like that. Anyway, people out there might not relate totally, but by the time I tell you what brought about the story of the outfit, you begin to say, okay, I could see this on the outfit. So it could be nature, it could be anything, just anything. So we, let's say the creative people, we get inspiration from totally anything. So it could be from anything.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Did you go to school for fashion?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, you got to give me a little bit more.
Okay, first of all, I went to Joyce Ababio College of Creative Design. That's back in Africa, in Ghana. And I did a year course where I learned basic fashion designing and the techniques on how to sew and create a garment. And after I finished, I decided to go to New York, which is in Manhattan. I went to New York School of Design. And there I went to learn couture making. So this is where I learned how to make more fashionable outfits, high fashion for red carpets, events and stuff like that. So yes, I went to 2 schools.
Okay, let me backtrack a little bit. How long have you been in the United States?
Between last 2 years and now.
Okay, how was the transition from Africa to New York?
Oh, anyway, it's these are 2 different places, you know. But I would say that as a girl who grew up in, first of all, I'm a Nigerian, so I grew up in a city called Lagos, in a state called Lagos State. So it's kind of a very busy place, fast paced like New York. So when I came to New York, it wasn't so all into my face. You know how New York can be so busy, but of course the city itself, the beauty in it, it's totally different. So I was able to sink in immediately because I'm used to such big cities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so difficult to commute. It wasn't so difficult to mix with people. And the advantage was from West Africa, we speak English. So
Okay.
coming here, I speak English. If I was to be in Paris, it will be more difficult because, of course, it's French speaking. But coming into New York, it was amazing. So I was able to cope.
were you afraid to make the transition?
I wasn't afraid, totally. I'm sorry, I wasn't afraid. I'm just this, I'm a dreamer, so I always want to go for something higher and higher and higher. So at every point in my life, I just want to take the next step. And although I've had opportunities to travel to other places in Europe, so deciding to be in New York wasn't something too scary for me. But of course, I had a few thoughts like, okay, how am I gonna do it?
Yeah.
I don't have family, I don't have friends, but I just knew that once you know what you're doing, no matter where you go, you're going to connect and you're going to find real people. Yes.
I mean, I like that. So you're a doer.
You said?
You're a doer. You like to do.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So making the transition to New York wasn't that bad. You had the courage.
Yeah.
You had the courage to do it.
Yes,
I like that.
Thank you.
So what has been one or some of your biggest projects as in fashion?
Okay. First of all, the first big project was the decision to make my maiden collection. That was immediately after my fashion course at New York School of Design. I decided to go on my first ever runway show, which was back home in Ghana, Accra Fashion Week. And that particular project had challenged me because, of course, mentally, you have to know what you want to do. You have to think, you have to brainstorm, you have to be creative. And then secondly, you needed finance to put up a project because you have to pay for the show, you have to prepare the garments, you have to pay a staff or two and all that. So that particular project actually challenged me as a creative designer, but it came out very good, and I'm really happy because it made during the show it's captured the audience. They really liked my designs and then also CGN TV Africa was there, and it was I and one other designer that they picked to interview. So for me, it was really a big first step, and it was successful. Okay, the second big project for me that was really good for me was my first international show. I was invited shortly after my show back home to San Francisco to be part of Fashion Community Week. So I came into New York a month before the show. So I had just 21 days to prepare 12 designs for that particular show. And, you know, it wasn't so easy for me because back here in New York, I did not have that proper studio and everything. I did not have tailors to assist me and all that. And then, you know, Manhattan sorting for fabrics is kind of expensive, but it was really successful because I made all 12 outfits myself, just by myself, buying all the fabrics, sewing them from start to finish, creating it, and going for the show. The audience were amazing, the people, the recognition and all that. So it was really a project that actually has added to a good vibe to what I'm doing, to say keep doing what you're doing. So that was a good one for me.
So how do you get noticed as a fashion designer, a fashion creative?
Yeah, basically as an emerging designer, what I would say I have done to make people notice me is trying to put myself out there. Because when you have a content, you have to expose yourself to people. So first of all, the platform that I use mostly is Instagram. So when I do my designs, I try to post them on Instagram, and I make sure that I hashtag the important people or the important platforms that I would like to be seen by. So for instance, if I want New York Fashion Week to notice me, I just hashtag New York Fashion Week. It means that everyone who is going to check up things on New York Fashion Week get to see something from FD. So also I try to use my Facebook platform, and also I try to make myself available for projects. It doesn't matter if it's a huge project or a small project. When they write to me and say, oh, FD would like your design, would you like to be part of this show or part of this or support our models, like the last show I had here in Albany, I try to put myself out there because you never know who is watching. And also as an emerging designer, I would say to everyone, try to put yourself out there, like fashion shows, no matter how expensive, try to put yourself out there, because these are where influencers go. These are where fashion buyers go, and you never know who is watching, and you might just have a call after the show. So this is what
great.
I do. Yeah, thank you.
Just putting yourself out there.
Yeah, put yourself out there.
All right.
Keep going. Yeah.
How does one get paid being a fashion designer?
Okay. Basically, when you're starting, you know, people often, like young people who want to be like an entrepreneur or build a brand, they usually think, oh, once I start, I make all the money. Like some people would say the first time I start, I would make $10,000 in the first 3 months. Trust me, it's not like that.
Yeah.
Because your focus should be not to make money immediately. Your focus should be putting your brand out there, trying to let people notice you, and eventually you start making money. Because before you make money, you got to spend money, right? So for me, I am not making money yet. I make designs, of course, 1, 2, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, and I came up with my ready-to-wear collection, of course, but it's not as fast selling as a big brand. So I would say that we make money by making custom made outfits. Like I make wedding dresses and all that, I make money. But the big money would come later, after you fully sink into the market. So for now, I make money through personal designs that I make for people, and currently I'm working with 1 or 2 stores in order to stock my ready to wear. So yeah.
That's great.
Thank you.
That's great. Your mind frame on business is good.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? You're not just going in thinking you're going to make $1 million tomorrow.
No.
You're putting in the work so you can make $1 million next week.
Yes, actually. That's
okay.
it.
That's great.
Thank you.
Like, what are some hardships you've faced as a designer?
Well, for me personally, mostly it would be based on finance. Because there's some people who are lucky, maybe when they finish school, they have a father or an uncle who wants to just sponsor them, and then they open up a big showroom or that. In my case, it's not like that. So usually when I have a project, especially when I want to go for a runway show, I usually would face financial difficulties, because of course it's it's not cheap to produce, you know. So finance is one big factor for not just the designer, for every entrepreneur starting something. So if you don't have the right finance or someone to invest into you at that time, you would need to start small. So for now, I just keep doing what I can do and taking it as a step at a time until I'm able to do every other thing, like setting up a proper showroom, having a proper work studio, employing 2, 3, 4 staffs and all that. So finance is one big thing. And the second thing I would say is trying to break into the market.
Yeah.
Trying to break into the market as a beginner, it's not so easy. You need to have something really catchy, something really different from what the market has, especially when you're dealing with, let's say for instance, New York, Manhattan. There are a lot of designers from China, from Europe, from this, from that, from US here. So if you want to sink into the market, you need to bring up something very unique, so that when you approach buyers or boutiques or stores, they can see something different in your brand and a story behind it. This way they can collaborate with you, or they can decide to sell your product.
Yeah.
That is another difficulty. So for a designer or whatever business, you need to overcome that part of difficulty, trying to break into the market.
Okay. Did you design the clothes you have on now?
Yeah. This is actually from my ready-to-wear African print collection.
Okay.
So currently I have some of it in a store on Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn. So I make African print design easy wear that people can just pick up based on sizes. Yeah, so this is one of mine.
That's nice. I like it.
Thank you.
So how do you plan to inspire young girls that wants to be designers?
Young girls, these are actually the set of people that I love, because so I plan to inspire them through my hard work. First of all, I intend to build myself so well that what I represent, FD, would become like a brand that's that speaks for itself. So I intend to build myself, I intend to build my brand to a certain level, so that when these young people, because currently I have on my Instagram, Facebook, and personal message, I do have people asking me lots of questions. How are you doing it? How did you go to this school? How are you able to do this and that? And I try to advise them based on my experience. So if I do not gather enough experience or not get to a certain level of success, I wouldn't be able to inspire them. So I'll try to achieve my dreams, which is to be a very reputable brand, set up my business in a proper way, and I intend to give back to these young people, young girls, especially the ones who wants to be a designer, so I can give them free training from maybe the early stage of fashion design, give them free training in order to set them up to eventually go for a fashion course if they can afford it. If not, they can work and also build something for themselves. So this is my intention.
I mean, that's great.
Thank you.
That's great. Yeah. Who are some fashion designers that you admire?
A lot of them. But I love Elisab, a designer from Lebanon. He does bridal couture designs. It means that you see all the elegant garments with a lot of detailing and all that. So when I watch that guy, his designs, it makes me want to just like be there already. So Elisab is one motivation for me. I really admire his work and I like to be just like him or even more. Yeah, so that's one designer from Lebanon, though he has his showroom in Milan and also in Paris. Yeah, and another designer is from my own country. She's called GMAlbany. She owns Tiana's Empire. She's a strong woman. I really like her because when I watched clips about her, she's fully into her craft. She does her work. You know that this person knows her business. Some people, they are designers, but they do not know how to do the crafts. So, but she does her craft. She's very innovative. She's like a trend setter. Yeah. So in Nigeria, if Tony comes up with a design, trust me, the next week, the next 2 weeks, everybody is doing that particular design. They follow her trend and I really like it. So I look forward to also having a big fashion empire like GMAlbany and also do something good for my country.
That's perfect.
Thank you.
I know this has been a hard journey. It's just the beginning. You have a lot more to do. Who has been your biggest supporter so far?
Oh my God, it's hard. It's hard to say this one person has been the biggest. I have quite a few committed friends who supports me. And I don't know if I want to mention names because I don't want this one to get angry or that one to get angry. But honestly, I do have quite a few committed friends from here in the States and back home that supports me at every point in time that I have a new project to do. But I want to give credit to my assistant. She came in to my life. She doesn't know anything about fashion design. Her name is Vivian Agbo. But she took up the stress from me because I used to be with the Italian company. I work in the office. So whenever I'm not around, she made sure that things are ongoing. And if I had to attend like, let's say a meeting and I wasn't available, she had stood for me once or twice. And that girl, she's very good. So I want to give credit to her because I'm sure she always tell me, I'll be with you always. And that makes me happy. Yeah.
That's love right there.
Thank you.
From hearing your story, I see that you're a go-getter.
Yeah.
You're a dreamer. You're artistic.
Thank you.
And I just want to let the people know that it's possible. That you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're coming from a whole nother country. You're putting in the work and you're making it happen.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for traveling to Albany from New York.
Thank you.
Do you have any last words for the listeners?
Okay. On a general note, it's not just about a designer. I would like to say to everyone who has been dreaming, who has a dream, who wants to do something for themselves, I would like to say, if FD can come this far, then you can do it. Because life is about knowing what you want, being true to yourself, first of all, being committed to what you want to do, being consistent at what you do and never look back, because yesterday is no better. You just have to keep going. So just go for it. It will be difficult, there'll be challenges, but never look back. Just go for it.
That was perfect.
Thank you.
How can the people find you on social media?
Yeah, on Instagram, FD Fashion House 88. That's number 88. On Facebook, I'm FD Fashion House. And also I have my email on my social media, and you can contact me.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
I want you guys that's listening to comment. Let me know your dreams. Let me know your outlook on the podcast. And I want you guys to get up, get out, and get you some. Thank you.
Thank you.